Vietnam is a beautiful country with a rich history of over 4,000 years. Tourists come to visit Vietnam, not only for its gorgeous nature, but also for the rich culture, delicious food and heroic history of this country. During those years of protecting and building the country, Vietnamese people have created a unique piece of land, though small on the world map, but cannot be replaced. In Vietnam, every city or province has its own characters and stories that cannot be found in any travel guidebook. As a tour company, we have encountered many curious questions from our customers when they visit Saigon. Why Saigon people call it the Turtle Lake while you cannot find any turtle in the lake? Or why some people call the Independence Palace the Dragon Head Palace? Or why those three big tall apartment buildings in downtown Chinatown that used to be the symbol of prosperity, are now abandoned and no one is living there? In this series, Saigon on Bikes will answer those questions for you. Tales will be told, and secrets will be revealed. Independence Palace. An aggressive palace. It was said that, as to feng shui, the Independence Palace was built on a very aggressive piece of land. So, no political figures could stay in the palace for long before the fall of Saigon. The Independence Palace was first built during the French invasion, with its former name Palais Norodom. There were two major explanations for that name. One said it was named after King Norodom, the then king of Cambodia. The other said it was not related to the Cambodia king. The palace was named after Norodom Boulevard, the road on which it is located. This palace has been drawing many people's attention for years as to the feng shui mystery behind it. People said as the palace was built on a very aggressive piece of land, no political figures could stay in the palace for long before the fall of Saigon. One of the examples was the French general Paul Élie, who was staying in the palace when the French failed at the Dien Bien Phu battle. The next was President Ngo Dinh Diem, who could stay there for only 9 years before he was assassinated. Moreover, during his 9 years of ruling, he was once almost killed, in that palace. That was on February 27, 1962 when the palace was bombed, and its entire left wing was destroyed. However, Diem and his family escaped the assassination attempt. Though there was no loss of life, it was almost impossible to restore the palace. Diem ordered it demolished and commissioned a new building in its place. The new palace was constructed according to a design by Ngo Viet Thu, a Vietnamese architect who won the first Grand Prize of Rome, Grand Prix de Rome, in 1955. He was also a laureate of the Prix de Rome awarded by the French government. However, Diem was killed before the completion of the new palace. The crisis of Saigon followed the death of Diem. Within 2 years, Saigon witnessed the rises and falls of about 10 ruling powers. It was only when Nguyen Van Thu held his power, things were settled. On June 30, 1966, Thu moved in the palace. Once again, from the day he moved in to the day he fled the country, Thu could stay there for only 9 years. The feng shui mystery behind the design of the palace. In 1966, in the grand opening celebration, architect Ngo Viet Thu showed people the meaning of his design, and some of the information has been used in tourism until now. He said facade of the building had 3 stories and a middle column, which formed the word Bong, meaning king, in Chinese. The small terrace on top of the building turned Bong to Chu, that meant Lord. However, after his death, his children revealed the shocking news that it wasn't true about the meaning behind the design of the building. The truth was that when designing the palace, he wanted the word Chu to mean post only. That meant those who could luckily stay and rule in the palace weren't necessarily lords. They were only temporary hosts of the palace, unless they could gain the people's trust. More than that, if we looked at it from the above, the building had shape of the word cat, meaning good. But the street in front of it looked like an arrow shooting right at the palace. That was really a bad thing in feng shui. To solve the problem, Thu ordered a feng shui master to put a charm under the main door of the building and built up the fence before it. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. The fence, on one hand, could stop the arrow, and on the other hand, it protected the palace from the protesters. What do you think? Do you believe these tales, or are we just being so superstitious? Don't forget to subscribe and follow our fan page at SaigonOnBikes.com. We will return with more interesting tales untold of Vietnam. Until next time, Xin Chao.